Abolish ICE protesters reveal true colors, look how they treat minority officers. Across the country, protesters lay siege to ICE offices. In Portland, these activists have been assaulting ICE for over a month. But it looks like these crusaders aren't as virtuous as they seem. Numerous minority ICE officers have spoken out over how these protesters have been treating them. It's not pretty. Since mid-June, a group of idiotic protesters has been assaulting the Immigration and Customs Enforcement building in Portland, Oregon. These morons, puppets of the hard left, have been demonstrating in reaction to the Trump administration's policy of separating illegal immigrants from their children at the border. You know, the same policy Obama enforced for 8 years. The same policy Trump has already ended via executive order. When have the facts ever gotten in the way of a good protest? These are the same kind of dummies that occupied Wall Street years ago when they destroyed a privately owned park in New York, blocks away from Wall Street. Those glory days are long gone, but the stupidity remains. These leftists are clearly being manipulated by the liberal media. You have to wonder how they can spend over a month camped outside a government building. Do they have no jobs? No expenses? You see, normal people with consciences and responsibilities just can't drop everything to live on the street. Either these protesters don't mind living in squalor or they're being funded by Democrat donors. Probably a little of both. But as I make light of their stupid stunts, something very ugly is going on. These same people, who claim to be fighting for the rights of Hispanic illegals, seem to hold very different views of non-white ICE officers. Even though these men and women are black, or even Hispanic, themselves, the white protesters have no trouble calling them any number of slurs. Wow. You know you really can't claim to take the high ground when you want families to die. What is the point of this protest? Do these masked and black-garbed thugs really care about illegal immigrants on the other side of the country? Are they so stupid that they'd get whipped up into a frenzy over anything on the news? It may seem bizarre, but it's all a result of how the media is escalating our political climate. They never forgave us for electing Trump. Since he's entered office, CNN and the rest of the fake news have been ramping up the mania. They have convinced a segment of our population that Trump is, in fact, a dictator on the same level as Mussolini and Hitler. The people who are blind enough to think that way will freak out over every perceived injustice by this administration. Never mind the fact that Trump hasn't done harm to these illegals. Or that illegal immigrants are the ones in the wrong. These protesters will say or do anything to oppose the Trump administration. They don't even stop to think that rioting outside a government building will accomplish nothing, except for their swift incarceration. They are so idiotic, they don't even see the hypocrisy in spewing racial slurs against minorities. The ICE officers are hard-working Americans. They joined this agency for the same reasons every other police officer joins the force. They want to keep America safe. ICE officers love this country. Perhaps more than any other law enforcement group, they enduring incredible abuse from fellow Americans, so that we are all safe from vile drug cartels, human smugglers, and sex traffickers. The same pieces of garbage that are calling them blood traders can be safe tonight, because of ICE. The rest of the country needs to know about the caliber of these protesters. They need to know just what kind of people